Misery Loves Company by LoverofMidnight. Dazai throws himself onto the futon, trying hard to stop the shaking. He clenched his eyes shut as he tried to breathe through the pain. He knows he should go to the boss and deal with the report, but he couldn't bring himself to care. His breathing was slightly ragged as he tried to calm his racing mind. He tried to force himself upright. It is better to get the report done than have Mori come here. He would just tear him a new one. Before he could sit upright, his arms keeping him upright for the moment gave out under him. The bandages around his body was stifling, and for a moment he wondered if he would be able to get it off. But instead, he just lay against the futon trying to focus his breathing. It took a while his eyes fell shut. Another shiver ran down his back, but he paid no mind to it. It felt like every minute he woke back up just to fall asleep again. When he regained some sense of lucidity in the first time around, he noticed that he was on something soft. It almost felt like a cloud compared to his futon. He tried to sit upright, but a hand pushed him back down again. Dazai forced himself to try and find where he is, but the room was simply too dark. He could feel the start of a panic attack forming, but a soft hand ran through his messy hair. A simple way to calm him down. Chuuya was here. Dazai could feel a sense of relief flood over him. A small part of his brain trusted the other mafioso. Even though they haven't worked together all that long, he knows that he is safe. Sleep, you will feel better in the morning. Chuuya forced himself to keep the explosive anger wraps. This wasn't Dazai's fault for a change, but rather Mori's. When the phone call came that he should come and collect the mackerel, he simply knew that something was wrong. The frown deepened slightly as he glanced at Dazai, shivering even though the heating was turned up and placed under a bunch of blankets. The man was always so careful to keep everyone at arm's length. But in the end, he still had the tics that made him human, even when they forget that sometimes. A wry smirk formed on his face. The demon prodigy. What a bloody joke. Mori kept him under such a tight leash, but now the worst-case scenario had played out. Dazai was caught in an ambush, and instead of being able to trust someone, he went home, trying to work through the pain. Chuuya's hand tightened against the bedding. It wasn't fair. In the end, Dazai would have been better off with the sheep than here. At least they would have looked after him, protected him to make sure he was safe, even if it meant they would have only used him for his brains. With a sigh, Chuuya forced himself to leave his partner's side. He would need to get some form of food into him if he can get him to drink the medicines he needs. Already he could feel a headache forming, knowing that Dazai wouldn't just cooperate. He stopped short when Dazai suddenly whimpers. His face tensed up slightly. Chuuya could feel a part of his heart break when he saw the stray tear slipping down Dazai's cheek. He sat back down, running his fingers through his hair again. When the other boy finally settled again, Chuuya realized with a groan that he didn't want to leave his friend alone to deal with the nightmares on his own. His eyes racked over the room, a groan slipping through his lips when he realized that the idea passed through again. Dazai wasn't going back to that container. He will stay here where he would be safe. And, well, if anyone had any problem with that, they will simply be crushed under his foot. Dazai living in a shipping container is still so crazy to me for a number of reasons. One, why actually, what is the practicality of it? That's my question. What is the point of it all? Is it Mori forcing him to do so? Does he just like the idea of living in a shipping container where he might get shipped, actually, like shipped to another country? Anyway, thank you so much, Lover of Midnight. I love your fic. And it was also quite short, so yeah, I did it in 3 seconds. Yeah, I hope my reading this time is a little bit better. It's a little animated. Sorry again if my accent slipped up once or twice. Again, English is not my native language, and sometimes I don't know, I can't pronounce some words, and sometimes I talk too fast too, so that doesn't help. But I will try to work around that in the future. Thank you so much once again, and thank you for listening. Till next time.